As you can see, we're outside the ET shop. We're gonna go inside and see Alex. We've got the opportunity. He's got the hood open in a truck. We had a good question. Some of you wanted to know what are some of the things you look at when you're looking at the engine of a used semi when you're about to buy a truck. So let's go inside, we'll talk to Alex and take a look at what he's got, and we'll pick some of these up and let you know. Come on. I am here. Come on.
I also think it's not just the cylinder. I think the 12, the 14 liter, the block is I think about 4 inches and a little beefier, yeah.
Like that sucks. Okay guys, I was asked if I was buying a used semi and I was gonna pop the hood, what am I looking for when I get the hood open on a used semi? First thing, when you're looking at an engine, I always try to make sure the engine's dry. You don't want to do it on a rainy day or if the truck just ran through water or just got washed. You want a dry engine. A dry engine is going to reveal any leaks or any problems that you're going to have, right? Because obviously the engine's dry, and you'll be able to pick off anything like that a lot easier. The next thing I always do is, and here's a perfect example of this, we found this the second we opened the hood on this thing, is I grab all my clamps. Now this one here is good. This one here, this one ain't doing jack. This one here actually goes on the front of this rubber boot coming off the charge air cooler. I don't know how this guy's not feeling the horsepower leak or the loss of horsepower with this clamp hanging here, but that's what I do. I go around, check all my clamps. Anything with one of these types of clamps that you can adjust, screw, all back here, they're everywhere on the engine. I check them all. Next thing I do is I do go through it for leaks. I will start with my, right at the front. I start with the rad and go with your reservoir, check everything. Anything that has a hose coming off of it, for example, you know, you can't see it because of the bar here, but there's a hose coming, an overflow on this, on the coolant reservoir. I check them all. I make sure they're all tight and snug and everything's good. That was pretty good. You timed that right in between the next thing I'm gonna do is obviously, I'm gonna check the oil, right? I'm not taking anybody's word for it that the guy says to me, oh yeah, I do it, I change the oil every 10,000 miles. I use the best oil in the business. I do this, I do that. I pull that stick. I use a white piece of paper towel or a white cloth. I run that oil through it and then I run my finger through it like this and spread it out. I wanna see to the best of my ability with my eyes, what's in that oil. Is there any metal shavings, dust, dirt particles, anything that's stuck to that stick that I can get off that stick and onto that piece of white paper towel? It will, you know, it doesn't happen often, but it will reveal some wing. It will reveal some information. It will give you something. So check the oil. Then I go around and I'm a hose fiend.
And I'm a hose fiend.
I don't know if that sounds good or bad, but if there's a hose on the truck, I grab them all, because especially with this one here, I don't know what year this truck is, but that's a 60 series Detroit. Okay, so this truck is, what is this, Alex? 05? Yeah, I think this is like an 05. So anything that's on this truck, if it's a 2005, we're in 2022, that's 17 years old. I'm not taking anybody's word for it. I'm buying this. This is my money, or it's your money. Don't take anyone's word for it. I grab every hose, especially on the rubbers coming off of all of anything to do with the coolant, anything that runs coolant through it. I want to grab it. I want to see that it's pliable. I don't want to grab it and hear, you know, you don't want to hear any kind of crunching or any kind of noises coming out. You want a nice, you know, whatever that is. Okay, you want that on your hose. And then again, I go through all of these. Anything that's a little warm. Anything that's like this, I'm checking it for cracks. Now this one's dirty, but you can just give it a wipe. I want to see. I want to be able to put my hands on it. If I can touch it or reach it and put my hands on it, I basically want to give it a little tug. I don't mean tug it and jerk it so you're ripping it off the truck, but I want to put my hands on it so that I can get a feel for, okay, is this a new pipe? Is this a 20-year-old pipe? Is this something maybe in the future I'm going to be replacing? Unless the guy's got the receipt on the work orders and he can show it to me, I'm not taking anybody's word for it, and neither should you. So we do coolant, we do hoses, we do pipes. Again, it's dirty. Check your fuel. Anything to do with anything that's got a brass fitting or a coupling or something like that, check them. If the engine is dry like this one is, it's good. If there's a leak, which we just, look at that. Just found the leak. Small little leak coming off the fuel filter, right there. So that's why, folks, right there, why you use a dry engine, right? You want a dry engine so you can actually find stuff like that. If I was buying this truck, I would have picked that off and I'd have said to the guy, okay, make it part of the deal. That gets fixed obviously before, or, you know, you knock 500 bucks or whatever it is off the price of the truck. So check all your brass fittings. Brass fittings generally, I'm not gonna say always, but generally at some point or another, you're gonna be replacing them, especially on a truck of this vintage. This one's not even of this year, it's of this vintage. So check your brass fittings, check your hoses, check your fuel filter, check your coolant. If you can, if you are in a shop like say we are, and you've got the ability and the shop is willing to do it for you, have them hook up your air charge cooler and the whole system, put it under pressure, and then spray everything you've got, because you've already got a dry engine, spray everything you've got with soapy water. Now I've had shops, I've been somewhere where I've been buying a truck and they've been good enough and they've done that for me. Takes another 25 minutes, but some places won't. But in this case here, if I was here, I'd be telling Alex, okay, I want this system charged up, I want it under pressure. Once it's under pressure, I'm gonna hit everything that has to do with that system with soapy water, a bottle of soapy water. I'm gonna spray everything and look for bubbles. If I can hit everything that's on there and there's no bubbles, that means I've got no leaks. You find bubbles, hey, that could be a problem down the road. So why should you pay for it? You're buying the truck. You let them pay for it, or you let them fix it, or in compensation, again, like you say, okay, we'll leave that alone, but you know, I'm gonna be paying for it down the road. Let's knock 500, 1,000, whatever, off the price of the truck. Most guys, if they want to sell the truck and they're motivated, they will work with you. Most guys don't want to fix stuff. They want the truck out of here. So chances are, and I've been successful with this, if I know that this is a $500 fix, I'm going to tell them knock $1,000 or $700 off the price of the truck, because I now have to go get it fixed and you're inconveniencing me. You don't want to fix it? I'll fix it, but you're going to pay for it one way or the other. So there you go. This was really easy. This is a nice short one for you. We're not wasting your time. Let's have a brain fart and forget what the I was saying. All right, one more. We got a good one. The last thing we're going to look at, actually we're not going to look at because Alex is on the other side of the truck working on it. There's actually two things here. These are quick. Myself personally is I will run along the head. Where the head goes onto the block, there's a gasket in there. Because again, your engine's dry. If there's any oil leaking or anything coming off of it, you'll find it. So I generally take a good flashlight. I go along the head on both sides and I make sure that there's no oil drippage. Now, don't get me wrong, on these Detroit 60 series and the N14 Cummins series, they're known for a little bit of leakage, a little bit of drippage on these series engines. The old timers call it slobbering, and that's what it is. So you don't lose your mind. What you're looking for is gross amounts of oil coming off the side. And on the other side there, you check your exhaust manifold. If there is a leak anywhere on there, it is a big job and it's an expensive job. So you check the gasket on your exhaust manifold, check your manifold for cracks, dings, anything. Do not mess around with stuff like that because those are bigger ticket items and they're going to cost you. So there you go. There's 5 or 6 real easy ones. You're thinking of buying a semi? Take a look at those. It will save you money down the road. Anyway, let's have a quick talk about this, okay? Again, 20% of you are subscribed. The other 80% are not. And notice I had to look at my fingers to count that. Come on, guys, don't make me work here. 20% of you guys are subscribed, 80% of you are not. So hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, give us a thumbs up. We'll see you down the road.